had the state explain some of the game plan right now as the railroad folks are coming in and they're bringing in hazmat people that's going to come in and manage the cleanup.
All right, so they're going to come live to me, but I'm not going to, you all are waiting for the press conference, correct?
Yes.
Okay.
Yeah, that's
So
what
I'm
I
going
think
to do a live show.
Okay.
Thanks, sorry.
Oh, do you want it on?
It's not aimed at you.
Sorry, they want to talk to us.
Step there, give me a mic check real quick.
Hey, good afternoon. We're expecting a press conference from
Mic
authorities
check, 1 2
any
1 2.
minute now. I want to step out of the way and give you a live look at what we're seeing. We're as far back from the area as authorities have allowed us to be. This is the area where a train derailment, leaking chemicals has forced evacuations. State hazmat on scene, state police on scene. Authorities say hydrochloric acid is leaking from that train car. They say that acid has to be neutralized with sodium bicarbonate, a strong baking soda, and actually sucked out of the air. Now, if you're familiar with this area, this happened at the ADM grain site around 2 hours ago. Authorities here say this derailment caused an acid leak, spurring them to evacuate the area. St. James Parish deputies have created an evacuation zone here. Hydrochloric acid flowing out of a rail car that came off the tracks. Sheriff Willie Martin says the sheriff's office is monitoring a light cloud drifting away from the train, and so they had to evacuate an area about a quarter mile on either side of the site. Sheriff Martin says 6 rail cars in total have derailed. Now, the shelter at Lutcher Senior Center is open for people who are in the evacuation zone. The sheriff says the fire department has gone door to door to make sure people were getting out of their homes. He does not know how long this evacuation could last, but it could go well into the night. Again, we are expecting a press conference here from authorities in just a few moments. When that starts, we'll take it live. For now, we're reporting live in Paulina. David Jones, Fox 8, Local First. Actually, they're standing off right to my right here. They're just about to start here in a few minutes. So I'm gonna let them handle that. But yeah. So again, we are expecting that they will start live. I believe you all said you're waiting on the sheriff, correct? So they're waiting on the sheriff to get here. Sorry about that.
Roughly 150 people, Good. We in a good spot here?
Yep, perfect. Are y'all getting ready to start?
Yes. Y'all give me a clue.
Hey, they're getting ready to start, guys.
You want to move over to your left a little bit again?
Sure.
All right. Get this down this one.
And whoever's speaking,
They're ready when
get
you
to
guys
move
are.
up to the microphone.
All right.
Thank you all.
So y'all ready? Everybody ready?
Yeah.
Okay. Good evening. Thank you. I'm Sheriff Willie Martin, St. James Parish. Here to report to you the activities that took place since about 1:45 this afternoon. We received the emergency calls that we had a train derailment right here at the intersection of CN Railroads and Highway 642. Witnesses were already giving us information that there was apparently some fluids leaking from one of the rail cars. First responders as well as sheriff deputies, some firemen, some EOC operations personnel, the director and some of his staff immediately started going to the areas, the residents in the close proximity of this incident to get people out. It was pretty apparent as they were getting closer to the zone that the rupture took place on one of the rail cars. There was a product leaking that was pretty much an irritant. They were noticing, the difficulties of managing their way through that. We got about maybe 150 people. Don't have an accurate number, but possibly about 150 people that were evacuated from their residence in roughly a quarter-mile area in proximity of this derailed location. The parish is going to talk to you in a minute about what we're doing with those individuals. But as far as we know, we had no reports of injuries at this time. We are working with the state police, railroad personnel on scene, hazmat personnel coming in from different companies working with railroad, and the state's going to report some of that information to you as we speak. But at this point, Highway 642 is closed to traffic. Highway 44 is closed to traffic for about a half a mile in each direction, and we're going to continue monitoring the progress, and the wind direction is obviously a concern of ours right now. We know that we have the folks out of the way as the wind is blowing today, right now. We expect that if we get a wind shift, we may affect a different area in the community, in the Grand Point area. We're going to keep monitoring that as the night goes on. I'm going to let the parish president give you a little information about the personnel that's been evacuated.
Thank you, Sheriff. As of now, it appears everyone is accounted for. We don't have any injuries that's been reported that we know of. We immediately set up an emergency shelter at our Lutcher Senior Center, and we have a place there for our residents to go to. And along with the railroad, they also do have a representative at the senior center as well to make sure the parish can accommodate all the residents' basic needs, because everyone was asked in a hurry, to evacuate their homes, and so we provided with them a place to go, and we are doing everything possible to make sure that their needs are met. So now that we have that taken care of, we have state police here who's an incident commander. He can give you an update.
Good evening. So LSP role here is public safety and hazard material response. We are here because there is a rail car containing approximately 20,000 gallons of hydrochloric acid, which is also known as muriatic acid, which is used in household cleaning products and used in refining metal. Any updates that we have, we're going to provide it via social media, but also you can call star 577 to get any updates. And this is a team effort, guys. We have boots on the ground, and we are working as diligently as possible to ensure public safety, and the cleanup will be an extended period of time. So we do ask for your patience, and we want to ensure that the community of St. James is protected. Thank you.
Question, you said it was 20,000 gallons that leaked, or that's how much it was carrying?
So that rail car is containing approximately 20,000 gallons of hydrochloric acid.
Do you know how much has leaked so far?
Right now, we are in the assessment phase. We have crews there right now assessing the leak, but it is a area that is contained at this time, and we do ask that you continue to be patient with us.
How long do you think it's going to take to clean up?
So as I stated, this is an assessment stage. It will be an extended period of time, but please, please, please refrain from this area, and we'll get you more updates as we receive them.
I know the sheriff had said that 6 rail cars had derailed. Is that how many are leaking? Is there
Only one vehicle we can see that is actually leaking. So there's no way really to contain it, as we can see. And I'm talking to some of the experts that came on scene, pretty much all in agreement. There's no way to get there. It's not like it's a small puncture. It's more like a rip underneath the belly of the car. So, but there are teams coming in with the thought process of offloading as much as they can before it all runs out, as well as start mitigating the what's affected from the spillage.
Are those teams on scene now, and how long?
There are some on scene. I can't validate which experts are actually here, but there's a lot of equipment rolling in as we speak, and I know they're getting ready to really roll up their sleeves and get to work.
Sheriff, you mentioned the wind change. If the wind does change this evening, what's the plan to get those residents in that area out of that area?
We have people on standby already. We're monitoring. We're getting updated weather reports as we speak. If someone indicates to us that there's going to be a shift in wind, we're going to be prepared to get into the community and start moving people out of the areas that are not affected right now. We're also doing a double check. We went through those neighborhoods, knocking on doors, moving people as fast as we can, but we don't know if everyone, maybe someone was sleeping and didn't hear us. So we've been monitoring with drones just to see if anybody comes out of a house that maybe didn't know we came through and tried to evacuate the area, as well as we're getting ready to send a team into the areas and get where we can and just do a second look.
And everyone will be going to that same one senior citizen.
That's the only center open right now at this time.
And what is the health concern with this chemical exactly?
Well, I'll let somebody who knows a little bit more about the chemicals explain that.
It's more of a respiratory irritant than with this chemical and all. If you do get a whiff of the fumes and all that, you will feel it in your lungs and throat and all. But it's a very similar acid. If you got a swimming pool, people put muriatic acid in it. It's very similar to that type of smell. So it's like they said, it's used in chemical processes, refined products you got in your house and swimming pools and so on and so forth. So,
Sheriff, your initial observations of the scene, any idea what may have caused the derailment?
No, we don't. And we know that the derailment happened as the railroad, there's a railroad crossing on 642. We had a witness who witnessed it. The rails actually came out from under the car prior to crossing that crossing. And so, of course, the train's still moving. And so it must have moved maybe a couple of 100 yards from that point. And so those wheels are dislocating underneath the car. And from the look that I had, the vantage point that I had, I would think it's one of the wheels that actually ruptured the tank.
Thank you. Appreciate it.
Thank you.
Thank y'all.
One last thing.
Sure.
When's the last time something like this happened in St. James?
A derailment that we had to evacuate people, I was just laughing about that. Not laughing, it's not funny, but I started my career in 1992, and one of the first big events I had to deal with was a derailment in Gramercy in 1992 that we actually evacuated part of that community.
So 30 years.
30 years.
All right. Thank you very much.
Thank you.
Thank you. You got it?
You started your career like that, you're going to end it like that. I'm going home now.